Well, Joe, you know, when we talk about turkey hunting, you know, it's exciting to me when you can go out there, hear that old turkey gobble, and then, you know, it's a different dimension when you put a bow in your hand and go out there. And I know I struggle with both. One thing that I didn't like getting in a blind, and you know, I stayed away from the blinds, but now it's got so popular, and it's so many blinds available, and they work real good. They got a lot more room you can shoot a bow out of, and so it makes it a lot more simpler. And if you becoming a bow hunter for turkeys, you know, go with these pop-up blinds, and that way, one good thing about a turkey, you don't have to rough the blinds in or anything. You can just pop it up and go kill a turkey just right then. And you know, I was in Florida one year right there, and we actually we had some turkeys roosting in there on the swamp, and we tried to get in the edge of the swamp, and it just wouldn't work because they were flying out in the middle of a field out there about 300 yards and strutting and gobbling, and you know, it don't matter if you told them you loved them, you kiss them in the ear, they wouldn't come to see you. So we decided to take a blind, and we went out there and we actually used some decoys, and that's what I would really recommend you to really go with a good decoy if you're gonna bow hunt. And I always like to go with like a Jake. I didn't like them old big, seemed like I had a lot of trouble with them old big fluffy decoys running turkeys off, but man, they got these little compact decoys now. But the key is look at the head, look at that color on the head, but go with a Jake and maybe a hen, and 9 times out of 10, set the Jake up where you can get a shot, because that's the one those gobbler's gonna come up and he's gonna wanna knock the breath out of that Jake. And most of the time, it'll work on all the gobblers, where some of these 2-year-olds might see that old big decoy and run the other way. So, but anyhow, and check your broadheads. I think there's so many good expandable broadheads out there now. I think that's the way to go. When I first started bow hunting, my problem was the broadheads were so sharp that they would go right on through the turkey, and the turkey would pick up, and he might fly 150 yards, and it ain't like a deer. He don't leave a blood trail, you know, especially in the air much. So, but that expandable ones, I've had real good success with it.
Fantastic. Okay, and what about calls?
I'd recommend you really get you a mouth call, and recommend you really working on a mouth call and put a little bit of effort in it, because it kind of gives you hands free. You can hold your bow, you got your release and everything. And if you're going turkey hunting, really need to get a lot of practice with a mouth call.
Okay, show me how you use that box call of yours.
Okay.
With the rubber band on it.
Yeah. One thing, yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up, because really, a box call is pretty simple. Really, it's the way I look at it, it's a two-handed call. But here's something that you can really work on. Take it when you set up bow hunting. Take your ground and kind of clean it out around, you know, your lower part of your leg right there. And I would recommend, you know, I kind of recommend a lower. I'm sitting in a stool now, but a lower stool where you can run your hand down. And I like to take that box call and dig it into the dirt and let it be about 3/4 of the way into the dirt right there, and it's right side of my leg, and I can hold my bow with one hand, and I can run, just act like that dirt, your ground is your third hand, but it'll hold that box there, and you can just slip your hand down and hold your bow in your other hand, and you won't, you know, you at least can get away with having to put 2 hands on it. So a box call is a real good call, and they make these little push button calls that works real good like that also.
Okay, Mr. Turkey, thank you.
All right.